Welcome to the third video as part of the Internal Link Optimisation tutorial. In this video tutorial we'll be discussing keyword mapping and why keyword mapping is an important part of the process of doing the internal linking. So what keyword mapping is where you're matching a keyword to each specific URL of your website. Now, if you have a really large website, such as several thousand pages, then you're probably not going to manually do this task. You're either going to collect that data through the Google Webmaster Tools or other tools like Ahrefs. But in this case, I'm just going to be working on a small site with several pages as an example. And so in this step, so this is actually the first step as a part of the internal link optimization. We need to create a list of all the URLs from the website. So there's several ways you could do this. One, you may be provided a list of the words, you'll be provided a list of those URLs. Another way is to go into the Google search engine and you can use a search operator like site : and then the domain name that you're going to be collecting the URLs, and then Google's then going to provide you a list of all the different URLs from the website, and then you could copy these URLs from the search results. Now I'm going to show you a method, my preferred method, which is by generating a sitemap through WordPress. So I'll go through that process now. The way that I'm going to create the sitemap for this website is by using a plugin called Seo Yoast. So if you're not familiar with WordPress or WordPress plugins, I'll give you a brief overview. So a plugin is like adding extra bit of technology script to a website that extends the functionality of the content management system, which WordPress is a content management system. So plugins are just ways of kind of extending the functionality of WordPress. So I'm just going to go here into the plugins menu and add new. The great thing about WordPress is that they have thousands and thousands of web developers who are continually updating and adding new features to the open source platform WordPress. And this part here is where you can actually search for new plugins. So this one is called Seo Yoast, the one that we're looking for. So I'll just type in that into the search results here, and then that's going to look up into the WordPress database and find the particular plugin. So it's actually Yoast SEO, not Seo Yoast. And you can see it's been installed over 1 million times, and they've got really good reviews, so that over 20,000 5-star reviews. So that proves that it's fairly useful for a lot of different people. So I'm just going to install this now. Just click install now, and that will take a moment just to download the files and then upload them and install it into this WordPress installation. It's fairly easy, it just automatically does that. So now it says it's installed. Next thing we need to do is activate the plugin. Okay, so that's now being installed. And you can see on the left hand menu here they've actually added a new menu item, and this is the Seo Yoast menu. So what we want to do here is we want to go to the General tab, and it'll kind of give us some notifications here of what we need to do to kind of set it up properly. In this tutorial I'm not going to be going over all the functionality. I just want to make sure that the XML sitemaps is turned on. So in the General tab you can look at the features and you'll see that this XML sitemaps is already installed. Next we're going to go to Tools. Actually, it's not under there. I think it's under maybe Search Appearance. Okay, so once we arrive on the General tab, we can then scroll to. Once we arrive on the General tab, we can click on the Features tab up the top, and you'll see here we've got the XML sitemaps turned on. We can just click that question mark, and that will list, that will provide a link to where the XML sitemap is. So this tool automatically generates the sitemap for us. This is actually the index of the sitemap, and then they've got sitemap URLs for each of the different page types, so post type, page, client, portfolio. So there's a whole different list of different types of sitemaps that have been generated through the Yoast SEO tool. But for the purpose of this, I only need the index of the sitemap, and then I'm going to go to another tool, which is Screaming Frog. So Screaming Frog is a SEO spider tool that will crawl the website and collect all the data, so all the different SEO metrics. So you'll grab the title tags, meta descriptions, H1 tags, all that sort of interesting stuff. So now once I've opened up Screaming Frog, I'm going to choose list mode from the drop down menu here. Next I click upload, and then I'm going to choose download sitemap index, and I'm just going to paste the sitemap index here, and it will always look like that in the subfolder of the domain, and just click OK, and it's then going to download all those different sitemap type URLs, and I click OK, and then it's going to go out and crawl the website now and collect all these different metrics. So it's got collected 57 URLs, you'll see down in the right hand corner here, and it's completed 48 so far, and then it's now finished. You can see it's 100% complete. So we're actually in the internal tab here, and this is listing all the URLs that were crawled. It includes images and other file types such as PHP and any other files related to the website. So I'm just going to scroll across a little bit and tell you a little bit about what's collected here. So you've got the title tag, it's telling you the length in characters. It's got the meta description, which you can now see that's saying meta description across the site, so that needs to be optimized. It's got the keyword meta tag, H1 tags being used, H2 tags, meta robots, meta refresh, canonical tag. It's also got the word count for the pages, and then the text to code ratio, how many links are pointing out, outlinks, inlinks, how many links pointing into that page. So a lot of different stuff there that's quite useful. So the next thing that we want to grab from this tool is using the API. We can connect it to Google Analytics and also Google Search Console to collect more information. So let's click this cog here, and I'm just going to choose the account and then click connect, and then I'm going to choose the particular account, so that's it there, and I'll click OK, and now I'm going to connect it to the Search Console. I need to connect to a new account, and we'll just choose okay, so now we can choose the website for the Search Console. Click OK, and that's now connected. those two different APIs. You can see on here it says connected, connected. And I'm now going to request the API data, and it's just going to go out and collect that, which has now done. And you can now see it's added some more data points here. So you've got GA sessions, new users, page views, also got the goals data, how many clicks, how many impressions from the search results page, click-through rate, average position, and it's also got the code URL here. So that's all the data that we're wanting to collect now from the Screaming Frog. So I'm just going to click the export. And now that we've saved the Screaming Frog data to the client folder, we're going to want to upload this onto Google Drive. Okay, so that's now uploaded. So I'm just going to open that in Google Sheets. And I'm going to remove this top row here where it says internal all. We don't need that. Just going to delete row, and I'm going to freeze the top row. That way when we scroll we've got the header, so we know what that data is about. Okay, and then I might actually just change this to internal all. Okay, so we've now added that into the Google Sheets. The next thing we're going to want to do is separate, just get the URLs, not the images, because we won't be creating internal links to these images. So we'll create a filter. And we only want text that contains HTML. Do OK, and next thing, so we'll just copy that, and I'm going to create a new tab, and I'll just filter through these because some of these pages actually are a bit redundant. They're not going to have any content on them, and I'm probably going to end up deleting them anyway. So I'm next going to sort by the word count. And that's one way of determining the importance of the page. So I'll just freeze this again and sort by word count. So then we've got these other pages which this one is actually of relevance, accreditation, so that kind of is important to the website, so I am going to keep that. But most of these other pages, like members, I think there was a test that I was doing in this particular site. And so I'm going to get rid of some of these. We can delete that, delete the login. Okay, so we've ended up with 13 URLs of the website that are kind of relevant. We've now got all the different data points from Screaming Frog. We've also got information on which URLs are getting the most impressions, which are getting the most clicks from the search results. So I'm next going to sort by impressions. And so what this means is that the impressions coming from Google Search Console, and that means that whenever someone's typed a keyword into Google and the URL has showed up in the search results, that's counted as an impression. Now, the more impressions you get, the more chance you're going to get a click, depending on the ranking position. So if you've got a better ranking position, then you're usually going to get more clicks. But this indicates that this URL is actually getting a lot more impressions than any of the others, but it's not actually getting any clicks. So it can be optimized, most definitely. So now that we've got those different data points, I'm actually going to move some of these points, so impressions and clicks, to the front. And now we want to go to the Search Console. Google Search Console is the next step. So I'm going to call this tab the target URLs. And so these are the main URLs that are kind of optimized with content. They're the URLs that we're going to be doing the internal linking to and from. So the next step is to log into the Google Webmaster Search Console. So we'll do that. And so you need to go to google.com/webmasters and we just sign in there. Okay, and so next I'm actually going to have a look at in the Search Traffic tab, and under Search Analytics we'll click that. So you can see there's not much traffic at all this website's getting. Hasn't been optimized, hasn't had any backlinks pointing to it. So that's something that's starting to work on now. But as a part of the on-page optimization, we're going to do the internal linking, and we're going to get some insights into these particular keywords here that it's currently ranking for. And I do notice that some of these keywords here, like Lismore AdWords Specialist, isn't actually that relevant because I'm not in the Lismore as a location. But I'm not actually in that location, and it appears to be coming from mostly United States, which is interesting. These data points here. So I'm actually going to be optimizing for Australia. So if you were trying to optimize your website for a particular country, then it's best to kind of filter out the other countries and just focus in on those particular keywords that you're ranking for in that target country. So there's only 4 keywords. So we want to have a look at which URLs these keywords are associated with. So we'll just click on that, and now we've filtered by that query, and then we can click on Pages and it will show us the URL. So when it's just that /, that means it's the home page. So the name, the brand, is obviously the most relevant for the home page. So we're going to put that into our keyword mapping now. So we're going to make another column here, and I'm going to call this focus keyword, and we can also have secondary keyword. So focus keyword, and then secondary keywords. So focus keyword for the home page is the brand, and next we're going to have a look at the next keyword and see where that's targeting. SEO Consultant Sydney, and go to the page, and it's the home page. So SEO Consultant Sydney. Okay, and we'll go back, and Enterprise SEO Solution, see which page. Okay, so that is the Enterprise SEO Campaign case study. So that's this one here. So that's Enterprise SEO Solution. Okay, so we can add that as the focus keyword. Click back. And then we've got National SEO Campaign. And that's the National SEO Campaign case study, which is this one here. Okay, so there we've managed to get our focus keywords for those URLs. but unfortunately the other URLs are not showing up for any other for any keywords. So that's quite often the case. You'll have some pages that just are not showing up for any keywords. So that means that they're going to need further optimization, more backlinks to kind of start showing up. But we can actually see that these ones over here are getting impressions, but it's just not for the target location. So what I might actually do is, let's flick it back to the United States, and you can go back here, have all the queries, and we'll go to United States and have a look at some of these other keywords. There's more AdWords specialists, so that's in the timeline. Yeah, that's not really relevant. So I'm just going to leave these out, and we'll just focus on the keywords that they're currently ranking for this particular campaign. So if there are no keywords showing up and you don't have the right keywords, then it's best to just use the Google Search Suggest tool to come up with the next keywords. So I'll show you how to use the Google Search Suggest tool to come up with the target keywords for the other URLs that don't have any search impressions. So what I would do is I'd have a look at what the page is about. So this first one, we'll just copy the URL and open it up, and we'll kind of have a quick review, see what the page is about and what could be a relevant keyword. So it's a timeline. It's talking about what's been achieved over the time that the marketing campaigns have been running. So what I'd probably put here is kind of like might be SEO experience, and these are search suggestions that are popping up here. But it's more about, so someone that wants to land on this page, or who would I want to land on this page? There's really people that are interested in employing the services of this SEO professional. So let's have a look at so SEO consulting consultant was obviously the most relevant keyword. Actually, I need to choose Australia, so I'm just going to go to .com.au and we'll go SEO consultant. And so these are the search suggestions that are coming up for this particular keyword. Now, to kind of expand that selection, what you can do is just you can add one letter and it will change the suggestions. And so you can see one here that's kind of relevant, which is SEO consultant qualifications. That might be more relevant for the other page, which was the accreditation page. But I'm just going to go through and do this one first. Interview questions, no. So you just kind of cycle through the different letters of the alphabet before you find the one that's most relevant. So there's one, SEO consultant profile. So that would be relevant to the timeline. And so that's one suggestion. There's another one, freelance SEO consultant Sydney. So that might be another possibility there. Google SEO consultant. That might be more relevant for the accreditation, because there's Google certifications there. And so the idea is just to kind of cycle through. So hire SEO consultant, that would be more relevant to the contact us page, because that's what we're trying to get people to do, is hire me through that page. So you put in your main focus keyword for the website, and then you kind of expand through and cycle to find more keyword opportunities. Certification, that would be good for that page. Okay, so we're going to find a couple of opportunities here. So we're going to leave those, and now we'll go on to the next one here, which is a marketplace SEO campaign. So that's kind of like SEO services for marketplace website. So I'm just going to put that SEO's. Problem is, it's going to come up with kind of marketplace SEO services, which is not really relevant because that's where people are searching to find marketplace sites that kind of have a big list of different SEO providers. But what the case study was trying to achieve here was talking about the SEO that was performed for a marketplace website. So maybe it's more to do with how to do SEO for a marketplace website. And so I've put in a fairly long tail keyword here, but I'm just going down to the bottom. Here we go, and we've got searches related to this particular searching, SEO for marketplaces. So that's more relevant because someone typing that would be looking for SEO services for their marketplace. So that's the C keyword. So we'll put that one in for here. Okay, and then we've got the about. So that would be again about the brand name there. So the about page, generally you're not trying to rank target keywords. You might have things like reviews if you don't have a review page, but yeah, that's okay for now. So I'll just leave that one for the about page. Testimonials page, so again I'm going to put reviews and yeah, testimonials. They can be two keywords target there. And news. So this was a case study on doing SEO for a news publisher. So again, I might do SEO for news websites, news publishers, news websites. We can do both those terms. Okay, and clients. So that would be around, I guess someone landing on the client's page, they're generally looking at again the brand. So the experience, client experience. Not necessarily a target keyword, but it's very brand specific. The people that are trying to land on that page, and then we've got the first guest post, which is how to perform internal linking SEO. Go to the page and have a look what it's about first. Okay, so this is the actual tutorial. This page is actually about the tutorial I'm doing right now, the internal linking. So the focus keyword will be internal link optimization, something like that. So we'll put in internal link optimization, see what comes up. Any search suggests at the bottom, internal links example, internal linking SEO, internal linking in HTML with examples. So that would, because I'm actually doing it specifically on WordPress, that one would be quite good. Internal linking audit. Okay, so there's a few good examples here. I'm just going to copy that and paste them in here, and now I'm going to select internal links at WordPress and internal linking SEO. Okay, so that's the focus keyword. Got internal linking SEO and internal links WordPress and case studies. So that's that will be fairly easy, that one. So we go SEO case studies. And it seems the year is fairly important, so we can put that one into there. And another option, might try and put in the country, see what let's go see if any relevant no. Okay. Might actually use this SEO expert in Australia, SEO expert in Sydney maybe. I'm just going to add another keyword to the about page. So here's the Australian SEO case studies as not relevant. SEO case studies Australia. No kind of suggestions coming up, but that's the secondary keyword there, so especially Sydney. Yeah, so it's not always going to be necessary to have these secondary keywords, but I'll add a few here. So national SEO campaign, let's see what other terms we've got here. No suggestions. If there is no suggestions, the other thing you could do is kind of look at the title tags of the competitors and see what other keywords. So national SEO services, and then we can kind of type that in to see, and yes, it did come up with more suggestions, so it did come up there. SEO for marketplaces, let's see if there's any other suggestions here. There isn't, but we'll have a look at, so, and e-commerce sites, yeah, it's fairly relevant. So we might put SEO for e-commerce sites, enterprise SEO solution, enterprise SEO platforms. What is enterprise SEO? Enterprise SEO software, SEO company. No, probably, I think, what is enterprise SEO? And we could probably even put enterprise SEO agency. That's quite a good term. And client experience, not going to have that one. Hire SEO consultant. So I think, see what sort of terms we've got here. Hire SEO freelancer. Put that in there. Okay, so here we've got our focus keywords and our secondary keywords. for our keyword map. So you can now see that we've actually mapped out the target keywords for each URL listed here, which is good. So the next part of the tutorial, we're going to have a look at which other keywords we can find, or synonyms that are going to be relevant to these seed keywords. We kind of expanded our opportunities to make sure that we're making the most of the internal linking